Coach Calipari won't win a championship again. And it's because he has lost the luster of the one and done, coming here and being prepared to go to, the NBA for that one season. That is like that aura about him, 2012, 13, 14, 15 possibly, that's gone. And other teams have caught up in terms of recruiting tactics and understanding what makes the player of today click. He was the first one, but others seem to have picked up the baton that he accidentally dropped.
John Calipari in Kentucky has stayed a consistent top 3 recruiting class like since they started all this in like 2012. I just don't know if we're looking at the same caliber, because he's still doing like almost enough to get platoon systems like year after year after year, and they stay longer. I think who is coming to recruit, I think that's like a different type of dude. Like you'll look at recruiting like stats and rankings from like the last 10 years pretty much. He's still getting those top 10 guys. It's just like you're noticing more of them have to stay. Like I almost think he's like less of the dudes who know they're one and done. Like John Wall already knew. Like John Wall almost did not need to go to college to be considered a high level draft pick. And I feel like the people who are considered high level draft picks, they don't got to go there because they don't have to learn how to listen.
So when did the drop off happen then? Because you could make an argument.
I think it happened in like 2017.
You could make an argument the drop off, right? The drop off happened with the Harrison twins.
Well, like that was the first time.
The Harrison twins were the first people besides Terrence Jones that stayed for a significant amount of time, being more than 1 year. After once this whole like platoon type of recruiting started happening when he was at Kentucky.
He did run that first like platoon system or whatever they were calling it with the Harrison twins, and like Booker and Ulyss. Wasn't Cat on one of those teams?
Yeah, Cat was like 2015, 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so
I think what happened, just like y'all are saying a little bit, like to some degree, teams caught up, but not just Team Duke mainly caught up. And like, because like the thing is, even as we say, like, he might have lost some of that, or he's recruiting, slightly different dudes who might stay longer. Like, the thing is, I guess while we're talking about recruiting specifically, it's still, like we said, they've still been very, very good pretty much the entire time.
Yeah.
And I think, and like, even then, like, a lot of his most successful team had dudes that stayed, like, into their sophomore year, or like had a junior or two on the team, even if they weren't necessarily the starters.
Yeah, that's true. The only reason I said the Harrisons though is because of that staying more than 1 year and being a high level draft pick, or not high level draft pick, a high level recruit coming out of high school, and then because before then he was like it was like everybody one and done, and like I would say, but in like players like Willie Cauley-Stein in 2012 stayed for like 3 years, right? Like 3 or 4 years, whatever. But at no point was he on the same level of recruitment as the Harrison twins. So, like I just think the tiers are different. Yeah. Once that upper tier started to stay a little longer, then it was like, oh, what's happening here? And then other people started getting number one recruits, and other people started getting, And granted, I think the decision making of some other kids made that happen also. And you could say Ben Simmons helped with that launching point of just like literally just disregarding Kentucky. Like no matter what, like he was like, I'm going to LSU. He disregarded Kentucky. Like and he what was that 2014, 2013, 2014, whatever it was.
Nah.
Um,
Yeah, I think you're right. No, I think he might be a 2015 kid. Let me check.
Like the thing about him though is like didn't like LSU like hire a relative of his, like put a relative of his on the staff or something?
yeah, he had connect to the coaching staff, but still it was just like a disregard, right? Because he was a notable player that like you would think would go to Kentucky as like a number one, number two player, whatever it is. He just said no. Like he just really just said no.
But it was never in the, like Calvin was saying, it was never in the cards for him. Like even as like a junior or sophomore, like he had family there. Like
Yeah,
everybody.
but even with all the other outside, I don't want to say influences, outside situations that he didn't go to Kentucky, he still didn't go to Kentucky. And so like I think that had like a a big aspect on it because Michael Porter Jr. can say the same thing with there are a lot of high level recruits that went other places. Uh, uh, and yeah, they still have people like De'Aaron Fox and whatever, but by the time you got to De'Aaron Fox, it was commonplace for a lot of the top recruits to not go to Kentucky.
Yeah, like the only other place they're really going is like Duke though, and like some of it I think like it's like at a certain point like kids start making decisions, and those decisions influence other kids' decisions.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, but like that. But at
if
one
Kentucky
point,
already has the best point guard in the country headed their way, and you are number 2, why would you want to go to Kentucky?
Hey, what are y'all talking about?
Was De'Aaron Fox number?
I don't know. I'm just a hypothetical.
Yeah. Hey, Philip, on this one, go look through 2 things. Your logic gives Calipari a 2-year run where he's just the dude at Kentucky when it comes to recruiting, and that is far from like true because you're giving him 2010, 2011, 2012. But if we're still talking about,
I'm not saying that. No. I'm not saying that because he had Patch on 12 because he had. Let's see. He had the Karl Anthony Towns year. He had the Devin Booker year. Is that the same year?
Yeah.
The same year. The Kyle.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the year after that, he had. What was the year after that? Wait, I mean, I don't have it in front of me, so I can't really tell you. But it was definitely more than that stretch. Like I'm not saying it was less than that stretch. I'm just saying like throughout those stretches, you start to see a little because even when they were even early on, like it was like even the way people talked about Calipari and talked about Kentucky were just different because he was just scooping up the best and the number one recruits and all kind of stuff. Like the way he was presented was it was just different. Like, but you were there. You had to kind of be there to see, kind of feel that energy, right? But then I would say in the last 4 years, 3 years, that energy just hasn't been the same. And you can kind of just and this is literally like the last like 3 years. So I'm not saying I didn't give him a 2-year span. I really gave him like an 8-year span, really. You know what I mean? Not like.
So how can 2012 be the year? My bad. I feel like
I'm only using 2012 because
like that detail there.
I mean, I'm only using 2012 because of Anthony Davis. That was 2012, right? Or yeah.
No, Anthony Davis was like 2011.
Man, you said that as if I was way off.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on. I thought it was.
You're saying his recruiting. What you said was like the recruiting peak thing. My bad. I think I'm getting bogged down in details, but like,
yeah.
Nah, man, he was getting like top 5 recruits up until like literally like the drop off is 2017. That's when it's
2020. That falls in line with what I said. I said the last 3 years.
I know. At the end, I'm not arguing with you.
No need. But yeah, all I'm saying is the aura of what Calipari was is not the same as what it is now. So that's as simplistic as I can make that argument.
No, I completely agree with you on that one. It's, that brotherhood finally falling apart. I love it, yeah. Come back to Kansas, yeah.
I mean, Bill Self doesn't have a great track record with one and dones either, so
I'm not worried about that. I just want to have a really good roster. That's what I'm here for.
Look, if you want to be a strong 4-year player, come to Kansas.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Josh Jackson, look at Josh Selby, Kelly Oubre came here and he did his own thing, but also you can make the exact same thing about Cliff Alexander. Like, you know what I mean? Like Bill Self's one and done track, Xavier Henry, it's not good. Like it is very bad in terms of like succeeding in the NBA. It's not fantastic.
Lily,